let you all vote on which story time you wanted me to do. Either how someone tried to scam me out of $70,000, or how my ex tried to buy my literal virginity. And y'all picked this one. So now you have to live with your dumbass decisions. Yes, I know I clickbait a lot. But this is actually something that did happen to me. So there's no clickbait, this is actually real. It's senior year of high school and everything's normal and fine and great and dandy, and no it's not, it's high school, it sucks, but whatever. And then tragedy strikes. My middle school best friend and the first female I ever loved calls me. Turns out her boyfriend of 4 years just dumped her 2 weeks before prom. Big shout out to you, douchebag.
Just kidding, he was acting in a selfish way, but I don't hold it against him because it was high school and honestly we all make mistakes.
She calls me, we talk, reunite, and suddenly my entire friend group from middle school is back together. It was really, really sweet, but also really fucking weird. Cause in that friend group was my first boyfriend, who we are going to lovingly refer to as Cheese. Now, I personally love Cheese. He was a great first boyfriend, and a great friend before that. And I appreciate him so fucking much as a person. But he made no qualms about making his feelings for me known. Even years after we stopped dating, he threatened my prom date. That's how fucking intense he would get. He threatened my prom date and told him he couldn't handle a woman like me. Which means I'm apparently akin to some exotic pet, but only certain people, only licensed professionals should handle me. Which I get that some people think that might be sweet, but that's not. That's literally like, no. So instead of realizing like, hey Shannon, this isn't gonna end well, I was just like, fuck yeah, I missed you scrotums. Let's hang out all the time. But like, it was mostly fine. It was mostly fine, guys. Like, it wasn't that bad. Until everyone found out that I was a fucking virgin. Y'all know how it is. You play Never Have I Ever and everyone gets progressively more sexual because they all want to one-up each other and be really cool. Shannon had never seen a penis yet except in porn, and she didn't really want to because why would she force that on her when she knows for a fact no one she knows is worthy of seeing her naked? Why would I just do it with anyone, guys? Really? But everyone took that and made it a whole thing. For some reason, everyone in my friend group was like obsessed with my hymen. Everyone. Every single person I hung out with in that group was so fucking into the fact that I was a virgin. The amount of fucking jokes I got about my unsullied undercarriage was actually fucking bonkers. But literally, none of those jokes were nearly as fucking annoying as how Cheese reacted to me being a virgin. This motherfucker thought that my chastity was a monument to how perfect and untouched I was. Spoiler motherfucking alert, guys. I am not perfect. This handsome young man would go on long, poetic tangent about how I was pure and unsullied, how my pristine puss clearly meant that I was a beacon of morality and purity in this day and age. Let that sink in a little bit. Let that sink in. Because I know y'all don't know me, but I know y'all know and can guess I'm not that. I'm not even slightly that. That makes no sense to describe me as such. I again feel the need to throw in that my Instagram hashtag is Amber1buttslut based on the worst porno ever. So I'm not a beacon of shit, guys. But this kid who somehow knew I was wild and crazy also thought somehow I was a pure, unsullied, just Virgin Mary. I was the Virgin Mary, guys. But he kept bringing it up. Like, no matter what we were doing, it would come up. And even when everyone else stopped making jokes out of it, even when everyone else knocked that shit off, he kept it up.
That's not the only thing he kept up. Ayo! Talking about that dick!
At that point, I stopped hanging out with him by myself. It was always with a group, that way I didn't have to deal with any weirdness. And that totally worked. And that's the end of the story. Could you imagine, guys? Could you imagine if my life was so put together and nice that that was actually the end of the story? What's that like to be so put together that when you're just like, I'm gonna stop something weird from happening, and it just works? I fucking wish. No, instead of just letting me be, Cheese realized that I was avoiding him, and he did this whole backwards kind of Ponzi scheme to get me alone. Essentially what he did was he took my friend's phone, texted me from it, said, hey, you should come over, we're gonna decorate for so-and-so's surprise party, a lot of other people are gonna be there. When I went over there to do what my friend had asked me to, he was the only one there at that time. Only him. So instead of decorating as a group and having a fun little jaunt, I was alone with a guy who was obsessed with my virginity.
Not really cool, not really fun. Not at all. Didn't love it.
Like a good little fucking turnip, I start actually doing what I'm there for. I start decorating the house. So I actually did what I was supposed to fucking do.
However,
Cheese was not on the same wavelength as me. No. Instead, this dairy bastard approaches me and he's thought this out. He approaches me like a movie villain and does a monologue about like his whole scheme.
My laptop fell. Why does my laptop fall every time I record?
He says he's been thinking about it a lot over the past like month or so, and me going into college a virgin is really bad for me. Not for anyone else, but if I go to college a virgin, I'm gonna get fucked up. He says if I go over there and I'm so sexually inexperienced, I will then lose my virginity to anyone. He talked for about 30 minutes unraveling his little plan of how instead of me going to college a virgin, he would take my virginity for me as like a favor, because if I lost it to him, I would be losing it to someone who loved me. Actually, no. Not someone who loved me, but he said I would be losing it to the only person who could ever love me the way I deserved.
Stuck on that, everyone else. I'm Cheese, and I'm the only one who can love Shannon correctly. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Which, like, I cannot fathom how that you even think that, like, how you ever think that's a smart thing to say. Like, I don't know. Because this guy, again, like, I respect this guy. Now, like, we put this past this completely, but, like, legitimately, he's a smart guy. He was a smart guy then, too. I don't understand. I don't understand how anyone can be so dumb. Why would anyone say that? That's so dumb.
I feel like I'm losing my mind because it's literally so dumb that it blows my mind that someone could think that and think that's like, ooh, this is gonna make people want to boink me. It's like, no one's wanted to boink you in the first place, boy. Telling me that you're the only one who can love me right. It doesn't work. It's not gonna work. What are you thinking, you idiot?
So, like, the whole thing is awkward. It's awkward and it's stupid. So awkward and stupid that I had a out-of-body experience. Like, my entire soul left my body and I was a ghost on the ceiling watching me react to this fucking loser's plan to convince me to give him my virginity. Like, he was trying to logic his way into my vag and he thought it was gonna work. Now, to be clear, not put me in a place of danger. I have known this kid since 2nd grade. He legitimately was just acting stupidly, which is why it's so fucking funny to me. Honestly, I believe to this day that this kid fetishized what it was like to be with me to the point where he couldn't even think straight. Like, he wasn't even thinking like, oh, this is a bad idea. He just thought, it's Shannon. I think I love Shannon. This'll work. And it's so dumb. So when my spirit returned back into my sick bod, I fucking destroyed him with words. Like, again, if you've been on this channel for more than a moment, you know I love an argument. I might be dumb, but I can fight like a fucking asshole. I'm fantastic at it. So when I was done tearing his stupid idea to shreds, he left it alone for the entire night, and we actually had a pretty fun night. Then when I got home, I got a text, and I remember this shit so fucking well because it was so dumb. I remember laughing so hard that I cried and showing my sister, because this was his final card, his big finishing move. He offered to pay me. He literally sent me a text saying he was going to take care of all my needs. Money, food, physical needs, anything. If I just gave him this one thing. And it was a year's worth of money. He was saying he was going to take care of me through college, essentially, if I just let him fuck me. I would essentially let him put his dingle in my dangle and never want for anything again. And so I tore him a new one. I didn't hang out with him for the rest of that summer. I've seen him a couple times since. But all in all, that is exactly great. All in all, that is exactly what happened. Ever since then, he has apologized. And, like, I clearly forgave him. But it's just so stupid that I think it's a funny story. Like, it's not... it's just funny. It's just funny that someone is so dumb. Fun fact, though, that's not even the weirdest thing that happened to me, like, that summer. Him trying to buy my virginity wasn't even the weirdest thing that happened to me that summer. It wasn't. So let me know in the comments down below if you want to hear those stories. Yeah. Anyway, for Creep of the Week this week, it's going to be xlegittrash.msp on Instagram. This kid is so sweet and so kind to me. They are the first person to put me as their favorite artist in their bio on Instagram. And I don't know what I did to deserve that, but it makes me feel really nice. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I will see you all in the next video if I don't get run over by a bus. See you then, potentially, maybe.